Dennis Tardan. Men, women, and the Great Divide. Men, women, and the Great Divide. Dennis Tardan.
Madam Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My subject today has very little to do, well, maybe a little to do, with Mars and Venus. And what it actually has to do, the Great Divide concerns cleavage. And what I want to talk about today specifically concerns that, if you've noticed, there is a lot more cleavage in 2013 everywhere you look, especially here in the United States, than it's ever been before. And yet, nobody is giving any specific instructions on what happens when we are in a situation where cleavage is present. I looked it up, Miss Manners, Emily Post, nothing. There is nothing. Here we have a situation where we're dealing with biology, and yet nobody is telling us how we are to act. I discussed this with my wife. I said, honey, wouldn't it be great if there was a book? And she said, yes, that is a terrific idea, and I will help you write it. Page 1, don't look. Page 2, the end. There. The problem with that is that, number one, if I'm in a conversation where I am cleavage adjacent, and I'm saying to myself, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look, don't look. Number one, not listening. And number two, I'm going to look. I don't know why, I don't know how that happens, but I will. And I think, to me, it's a very discreet process. I feel like I'm in a situation, I'm in a conversation, I feel like it's discreet, subtle. According to my wife, I look like this. There must be a subtle difference between these two. We've got to figure out a better way, and I feel it's information. As long as we inform people, as long as I know when I come into a situation that there's a possibility that there may be cleavage, and I know that in advance, I'm much more prepared. I'm much more composed. I'm not so flummoxed. So I've come up with an idea called the Cleavage Plunge Index, the CPI. And this would, we would post this in every city so that you would know coming into that city exactly what to expect when you're there. And it would go from a +4 to a -6. Now, a +4 would be full burqa, complete all the way to the top. Okay? Then you would have a 0, which would be your Peter Pan color, all the way down to a -6, which would be red carpet, any award ceremony. Now, I came here from Victoria, Texas, which is frankly Victoria. And it had, I would give it possibly a negative -1 on the scale, because I mean, after all, they do have bars, and we do have evening wear, and so there is, you have to factor all that in. Came here to Austin, much different. This is a much more progressive city. I mean, it all factors in. My wife and I went to a rally at the Capitol. Huge rally, thousands of people there. There was a woman standing there as part of her protest, topless. You heard about this, didn't you? You saw it on the news? Of course not. It's Austin, Texas. This is normal. This factors into our entire, what we're trying to do. We need to have more information. Because if we as men and women have more information, if we know how to expect the unexpected, what will happen is this subject, which is now out in the open, can be discussed. Because I will tell you one thing, you are not going to put those genies back in the bottle.